my junior year, I was leaving, and I was trying to decide between Fila and Nike, and Reebok was in there a little bit. And I just had these deals on the table, and Nike was telling me if you come with us, there's potentially going to be a new brand started that we may potentially put you in to start you, in your rookie year. And the deal kind of went away. And my agent at the time was pushing me towards Fila. And it was weird because I was sensing this, there was some other things going on. There was like this side deal happening. And I remember going to this firm in DC and the people at Fila, they pushed this check across the table as if I had agreed to the deal. And in my rookie year, they were going to give me a shoe, but they wanted me it was going to be a 5-year deal. But the first 3 years, I had to be the first or second leading scorer, or leading rebounder, or leader in assists on the team. And I had Ben Baker and Glenn Robinson on the team then. And I was like, how am I going to come in as a rookie and be one of the leaders in this categories and then stake my future on it with this shoe company? These criteria, I felt like it was too much pressure to have to deal with. Like, I'm not, lacking confidence in my skill. And so I went to this meeting. They handed me this check as an agreement that, that I have with these terms, and I don't. So I told them, and, later on I said, I'm not accepting these terms. And, listen, I ended up firing my agent, and then we went back to Nike to rehash the deal, and deal was on the table. And then sure enough, within that year, the first brand Jordan shoe, it was a Jumpman Pro. It was a black and white shoe, and I wore that my rookie year. And from then, the rest is history. I was able, and the funny thing is I had never even met Michael Jordan. And my rookie, my second game of my rookie year preseason, we played against the Bulls in the United Center. So imagine that as a 21-year-old kid, you're playing against MJ. I was scared to death. In the United Center, like, you imagine hearing that theme song when they run out on the floor and people were there ready and waiting and watching the game. And it was already packed, and I'm on the floor stretching, and he runs out on the floor, and I had to look. Like, I had to look up, because I was like, it was like, this is so surreal to me that I'm sitting here on this court right now, and I've watched this, for the last 10 years of my life. So now I'm here. I was like, I'm rooting for him against me.
Right. I know that feeling. I know that feeling too. It's crazy that you say that, because I caught him towards the tail end of my career when he was in Washington. And I mean, I take pride in my defense and being competitive, but for the first time, I was happy that MJ gave me buckets. Like, it was crazy. Like, he almost fouled me out, but he gave me buckets, and I was like, all right, it's cool. I'll take it from him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then it's crazy at the end of the game. I'm like, man, I don't know if he'd do it, but I asked him to sign his game shoes for me. And, I just put it out there. I'm sure he probably got that every game. Sign some shoes for me or whatever. And so nothing of it. I'm in the locker room changing and everything. Then he sent the ball boy over there with the box and his shoes, autographed and everything. And I was surprised. I was like, man. So that night, like I said, I was team MJ, like I always am, but for that moment right there, like I said, I was happy that MJ gave me buckets at the end of